What's up, Spikes? Welcome back to the finale of the Goliath Gauntlet featuring Aggro Prism.
It's been a doozy.
It's been a doozy.
A wild ride.
I think we've found out. Spoilers if you haven't seen the other videos. First of all, you should watch the videos. But second, Fractal Replication is a hell of a card.
Heckin' good card.
I'm a big fan of Fractal Replication specifically. But anyway. So this is, as I said, the fifth and final game of the Prism Gauntlet. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, hi, my name is Bill, and the deck that I'm playing today is a Prism deck that's based around leveraging Luminaris's ability to give attacks go again if you have a yellow card in your pitch zone, as well as attacks that turn non-illusionist cards into illusionist cards so that you can give those go again, as well as, you know, change the base power like Transmogrify does, or just give them a buff as well as Phantasm like Veiled Intentions does, or just attack with Heralds and do it like a few times. And yeah, it's been a fun time so far. So as I said, I am playing Luminaris for that effect. I'm also playing Crown of Providence. I've really liked how it's actually been performing in this deck, allowing you to sometimes go into turns if you want to get a little bit greedy by blocking and putting a card from your arsenal down to get a 5-card hand going into your next turn. Can be pretty explosive. I also have a Spring Tunic just for a little bit of extra resources. Like one resource once a game. It's still fine. Null Rune Gloves specifically for this matchup, just because Rosetta Thorn is pretty gross, especially when you get down to the last parts of the game. And I also have Phantasmal Footsteps, just because it's a really good card for Illusionist. And in this deck, where I'm looking to make everything have Phantasm and therefore vulnerable to being destroyed, having the ability to not have your turn end on the spot is not so bad.
So you're going to say, when everything's a phantasm, nothing's a phantasm.
No, that's really not how that works in this deck. Everything is a phantasm. But yeah, so that is what I'm playing. And once again, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jan. And for the final E of this event, I'm playing CMH Channel Mount Heroic Earth Briar. So for many of you who are new, you can go back and I played a much worse version of this many gauntlets ago. And for those of you who watched it, I've added more attacks. Yeah, I've changed the deck a little bit since the change to Briar and the banning of Ball Lightning and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, when you had that first iteration, wasn't it like
7 attacks, 9 attacks?
Very few attacks. That was very amusing.
And so it's been a while since I played Briar, but I do love Briar, so we're back at it. I'm playing Arcanite Skullcap to block, Aether Ironweave to block as well, and maybe get some extra resources because I can't play Bloodsheath Skeleta anymore. Grasp of the Arcanite to also block and maybe make some rune chants. And Spellbound Creepers because it does block as well, and it does have some weird kind of shenanigans with instant. You could theoretically block with something and then instant speed in a Channel Mount Heroic, but I don't know why you would.
I mean, you could. If you draw, I was gonna say
that's an interesting thing we can talk about like if I block with a 3 attack and then I activate this to flash in Channel Mount Heroic, does it become 6 and break the Phantasm? Let us know in the comments below.
I believe it would. So
then don't let us know.
Yeah,
I'm also playing Rosetta Thorn, which is like the best weapon.
Yeah,
in the game.
Yeah, it's too good for a token weapon, that's for sure.
Yep. I won the die roll, but I've elected to go second.
It's an interesting choice.
It is an interesting choice.
But
let's do it.
We'll see what happens. So I will kick things off by remembering my Spring Tunic and putting a counter on it. Then I'm going to boot it into Booter Drive by playing this Transmogrify. And I'm going to pitch this Illuminate to pay for that with 2 floating. And then I'm going to come in with this other Illuminate for 8. And if it hits, it goes into my hero's soul. It does not have go again.
Does not have go again.
Does not have
but
go
it does have Phantasm?
Yes.
In that case, I will block with a Blossoming Spellblade with 6 attack.
Very good. That's all right. So that will break. And I will just pass the turn over to you.
All right.
After arsenaling the last card in my hand.
Well, I don't have a tunic to remember, so I'm going to pitch this Autumn's Touch for 3 resource, and I'm going to spend 2 to activate Grasp of the Arcanite. to make a rune chant.
You've done it.
And to represent my rune chant token, I got there, I'm actually going to use the backside of these fancy spike feeder resource tokens. And,
these are a backside too?
They're a little spike. These are high quality enamel metal coins, and they're spectacular.
Ooh, how would one go about getting these?
If you want to get your hands on these, go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thespikefeeders.
Oh, but you'd probably have to sub for like
Some
$100 a month, right?
Not even a fifth of that. $20 a month.
Oh, well, that's
US dollars.
That's super reasonable compared to $100. I mean, who said that?
When you think about it that way.
Yeah.
And now I'll spend this last fancy resource coin I have to attack you for 5 with this Vela Flash and 1 Arcane with this Rune Chant.
Well, can you not do that instead?
I tried my best, but I couldn't.
When you try your
it's
best.
Not fused, so it's just for 5 and 1.
Well, what are we going to do with that? I'm going to block with my Crown of Providence, I think.
Oh, no.
So I'm skipping past it, but I am going to take the 1 from that. I'm going to block with the Crown of Providence, and do I want to block with something else as well? I'll probably block with this too. I'm going to block with this Illuminate. It's blue.
Okay.
Illuminate.
Illuminate, yeah.
So for a total of 5, and then Crown of Providence, I'm going to be bottoming this card in my arsenal and drawing a card to replace it.
Oh. All right. In that case, at the end of that turn, I'm going to arsenal this card and pass.
Okay. I'm going to be taking my Tunic up to Tunic. Then I really desperately have wanted to do this the entire gauntlet, but I haven't had the opportunity to until this very moment. So I'm going to seize the moment, and I'm going to play this Transmogrify. And to pay for that, I'm going to pitch this... yellow Snatch, I believe. So I'll have 1 resource floating after that to give my next attack 7 base power, Illusionist, and Phantasm, and go again. Then I'm going to attack you with this Vipox. So for base power of 7 with Phantasm, if it hits you, you lose health equal to the number of cards in your hand.
Well, we'll start by putting all of our equipment in front of it. So I'm going to take a 7.
Point of order, that's not all your equipment, so you lied to me.
Okay. Game loss, I guess. Yeah, I'll block 4. Okay. And I will take 7 total.
Yeah, so 3 from that, and then a trigger for 4 as well. So yeah, not too bad. Then, you know what? I am going to play this. It's not what you think it is, but I am going to attack you with this blue Snatch.
For 2?
For 2. An attempt to draw a card. Doesn't have go again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Take 2.
I will arsenal that card that I just drew.
Excellent.
And pass the turn over to you.
All right, let's start this turn. I'm going to pitch this blue Earth Lore Surge to play this Tome of Harvests. As additional cost, play Tome of Harvests, put a card from my arsenal on the bottom of my deck, and then draw 3 cards.
Interesting.
Now we're going to come in with this Ravenous Rabble.
I see.
I'm going to reveal the top card of my deck.
Oh.
Costs 1. So I'm coming for 4 with go again.
4, go again.
Yep.
No blocks.
All right. Take 4 damage. I potentially missed it last turn because it's been a while since I played Briar. I will make an embodiment of Earth. Then I will attack you with this Lightning Surge.
Ooh.
It's not paid for my arsenal, so it does not have go again.
So just another 4sies?
Another 4sies.
I will declare no blocks.
I'm going to Lightning Press.
You got it. 3. So it's a total of 7?
Total of 7, yeah.
Yeah, so I will take 7.
And then I believe I'm going to arsenal this card and pass.
Very good. I'm going to take my Tunic up to 3. It's a 3-nick now. I'm going to start by playing some cards. I think that's what I'm going to be doing, and I think it's going to be a good time. I'm going to play this Veiled Intentions by pitching this Herald of Erudition with 1 resource floating. So next attack that I play this turn is Illusionist, gets +3 Phantasm, and when it's destroyed, I draw a card.
Yep.
Then I would like to attack you with this Pursuit of Knowledge, and to play that I have to pay an additional 1, and I'm going to pay that by pitching this Snatch. So I would have a total of 4, 2, I have 2 floating. So this is coming in for 7 with Go again. If it hits, I gain +1 on Intellect until end of turn, and if it's destroyed, I draw a card.
I would like to block with this Red Burgeoning for 6.
You've done it. So I do get to draw a card, and then I will also be triggering my Phantasmal Footsteps because this is an illusionist attack action, and I'll pay a resource to gain an action point. Yep. Then this is Dunzo, and so is this. I'm just going to follow up. I'm going to attack you with this Miraging Metamorph for 7. Just for 7.
I'm just going to block like that. So I'll take 2 less for 5.
Sounds good. And I will just Arsenal this last card in my hand and pass the turn over to you.
Break my creepers.
No more shoes.
I'll lose my Embodiment of Earth.
No more shoes.
They don't do as much work as they used to.
No more shoes.
All right. Let's lead on. We're going to pitch this Earthlore Surge. To activate Grasp of the Arcanite.
Okay.
Oh, Spike's back. And I have 1 resource floating. I will then attack with Lightning Surge. Played from the Arsenal, so we'll get Go again. So I'm coming in for 5 and 1 Arcane.
I'm going to pitch this Overload to pay for the Rune Chant with my No Rune Gloves. And then with my 1 resource floating, I will pay it into the Phantasmal Footsteps to block for 1.
Yep.
And I will declare no further blocks and take 3.
Okay. Let's get another Embodiment of Earth. We're doing it. Then with my last resource floating and my Go again, I will attack with this Explosive Growth, and I will reveal a Pulse of Candlehold to fuse it. So when I attack with it, it deals 1 arcane damage, and if it was fused, whenever it deals damage, attacks this combat chain get +1 attack.
I will use my Tunic resource to Null Rune the arcane damage.
Okay.
And declare no blocks and take 3.
And then I will Arsenal this last card, and I will end my turn.
Sounds good. I will be taking up this Tunic to 1 and kicking off this turn by playing this Art of War, pitching this Illuminate to pay for it, and banishing this Enlightened Strike to give my attacks +1/+1, and then because I banished, I'm going to draw 2 cards as well.
Yep.
Let's see what happens, I suppose. I'm going to follow up with this Miraging Metamorph, with the 1 that I have floating. It's coming in for 8 with Phantasm, because of the +1 from Art of War. And Go again, thanks to Luminaris.
I will block with this Swarming Gloomveil. Because of my Embodiment of Earth, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, for a second I was like, what? And no, okay, you caught it.
And I'll go to 1.
Okay. What would you say your favorite card in my deck is? I'd like to play Fractal Replication.
Okay.
It's for another 8.
I'm going to block with this Force of Nature for 4.
Okay.
I have defense reactions.
Okay.
Sedulous Suffering.
Okay.
Would you like taking arcane damage?
Nah. I'll pitch this Transmogrify.
Okay. Sedulous Suffering. Would you like taking arcane damage?
I have to. Okay. You had 2 sigils.
If you were like
2
Herald of your edition, I'd be like, I swear to God.
Yeah, Dominate would have been great, but you know, it is what it is.
On my turn, I'm going to play this Pulse of Candlehold.
Yes, you will.
And I'm going to put a Blossoming Spellblade and a red Burgeoning on top of my deck.
Sounds good.
And then I will pass the turn.
Okay. Well, you've seen right through my trap card because I would like to attempt to attack you with this Wartune Herald for 7. I have 1 resource floating.
I will block with this Blossoming Spellblade that you know about.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to pay for the Footsteps and do it again by pitching this That All You Got.
I'll block with the red Burgeoning that you knew about.
Very good. And I will draw up.
All right. Well,
yeah,
it's happened to me multiple times today, so now it's my turn to play Enlightened Strike.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to bottom this card to give it +2 attack. So
to attack.
7.
7? I will block for 7 with this yellow Wartune Herald, my Lightning Strike, and my Tunic.
Your tunic.
My Tunic.
All right.
Okay.
I will pass.
I will attack you with this Snatch for 3.
Well, we're too far into the game, and this isn't going to actually ever do anything. So I'm going to block for 3 with this Channel Mount Heroic that I just drew.
I see. Okay. Yeah, you've successfully blocked. I'm going to arsenal the last card in my hand and pass it over to you.
All right. I am going to pitch this Tome of Harvests to activate Grasp of the Arcanite. And I have 1 resource floating.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pitch this Break Ground to attack with my Autumn's Touch for 1 Arcane and 5 Physical.
Okay. Well, I would like to respond.
Okay.
I'm going to pay for the Arcane with this Veiled Intentions. And then I'm going to use... I'm going to use the additional 1 to play this Art of War. And I'm going to banish this Fractal Replication to draw 2 and give my attack action cards +1/+1 until end of turn. I would like to declare block with this blue Wartune Herald and this Herald of Erudition for a total of 8.
Yes, correct.
+1 defense.
And this has been paid for.
Yeah, I did pay for that before.
All right.
So.
Well, once the dust has settled, I will end my turn.
I will also end my turn.
Ooh.
I'm left with nothing.
I would like to start by activating the Grasp of the Arcanite by pitching this blue Tomorrow.
Sounds good.
To make a little friend. Then I'd like to attack you with this Swarming Gloomveil. I have created 1 or more auras this turn.
You have?
So it does have go again. So 1 Arcane and 4 Physical.
Okay. I would like to pay 1 into Arcane Barrier.
Okay.
With this Wartune Herald. I'll have 2 resources floating after that. And then I would like to declare no blocks. Do you have any attack reactions?
I do not.
I would like to sink below. And I will bottom this card from my hand and draw a new one.
I would like to play Lightning Press.
I would like to play That All You Got. It is also a defense reaction, and it blocks for 3.
Okay. I would like to attack you for 2.
I will block for 2.
Okay. Yeah. All right. In that case, I will arsenal this card and pass.
Okay. I will also pass.
Well, let's start by attacking with this Ravenous Rabble.
Okay.
For 2.
For 2?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let's block with this card. I'll block for 2 with this Yellow Snatch.
Okay. Then I will attack with this Enlightened Strike, giving it Go Again for 5.
I think this is gonna just about settle it, but I guess we'll find out here, because I would like to declare a block with my Phantasmal Footsteps, and I will pitch this Overload to pay for it. And I would like to move to defense reactions, and I will sink below.
You got it.
I will sink below.
All right. Here is the moment of truth. Which of these is the free attack?
Neither?
I would like to take a page out of my good friend Bill LePage's book and play Snatch for 4.
I see. See, when I play a Snatch, it's either for 2 or for 8.
Well, yeah, so I'm like trying to find the middle ground.
It's never for 4.
It's double your base and half your top.
Oh,
so I'm
right in the middle. Okay. Well, I'd like to block with this Swarming Gloomveil as well as this Herald of Erudition from my hand.
I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah,
I just got blown out right now.
No, I can block exactly 3, take exactly 1, and exactly die.
Draw this card.
I just needed to have the ability to retain like 2 cards in my hand because I had this Veiled Intentions locked and loaded. I was ready for it with this Overload. I was going to be like, yeah, attack you for 6 with Dominate. Boom.
The card I arsenaled was Burgeoning. So on the last turn when I set up that Swarming Gloomveil, part of me was like, just play this Burgeoning, and when they try to block, just like Lightning Press and like come in for a 9. But I think it would not have made a difference.
I don't think that it would work because I think Lightning Press is like cost 1 or less or something.
It is. So there you go. It wouldn't have worked. I would have looked foolish. So I made the right call.
I would have preferred that you look foolish, but
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, I made you work for it.
I did. That was
and you won by 1 damage there. So.
Yeah. It's all of these games have been insanely close.
No. Honestly,
I didn't attack with Zerdathorn once.
You did attack with it.
I attacked with it once. For 2. I don't know quite how I feel about this deck. Obviously it's good. Obviously it's popular. Obviously it does a lot. But it kind of feels like you're trying to emulate the old Redliner build, but you're not. You don't have any of the resilience, really. Like, you have certain turns where you're attacking with 3 things, and then certain turns where you're attacking with 1.
Yeah.
But, like, you also lose your ability to follow up with Rosetta Thorn, which is, like, an insanely powerful card. So, it felt clunky in weird ways. Like, it all worked, but, like, I drew hands that were... Some hands that
just
were
odd, right? Yeah. That's...
So, I'm sure some tweaking would make this better. And again, I played... So... That's kind of one of these interesting things. I played the shoes, Spellbound Creepers, for the block. And without them, I'd have died. Like, I am alive by 1. Alternatively, though, if I played the Snapdragon Scalers, I potentially could have killed you like 3 turns ago by being able to just, like, field another attack on that turn.
That's true.
So... It's hard to say.
Yeah, it was an interesting match. I think they were all interesting matches. I think we'll definitely talk about it more in the wrap up. But as much as I was calling this a meme deck, I mean, the first iteration was pretty meme. I think this deck can do stuff. Like, it's not a long game deck, but like
I can't think of many worlds. Like, I can't think of many decks. Maybe I'm just out of touch with the youth of today, but I can't think of many decks where you're just like, oh yeah, no, this is not a problem. I can just tank 14 worth of attacks a turn.
Yeah, like obviously in matchups where they have consistent access to cards that have 6 or greater attack, then it becomes a lot. Rougher, it just becomes like this deck doesn't live or die by Phantasm popping. Like it's not the hardest thing to deal with in the world, but it's the fact that you also just don't get damage through. Like, if you were able to also get a little bit of damage through too, then it would be cool. But that's sort of the roughest part. It's not even paying into the footsteps. It's just like, you just need that. But yeah, I think with the decks that are popular right now, like against Fi, it's kind of just a race. And I feel like when this deck high rolls, it high rolls really hard.
It's like it's got a really high ceiling.
Yeah, but it's got like sometimes you just draw into a bunch of garbage, and you don't have a bunch of end game, like I was saying. Like, you can't really grind games very well.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you can chain 2 fractal replications together off of something big, then sometimes you just attack for 30 and you win the game.
And especially with things like Crown of Seeds being gone. It definitely... You've got a lot more options against... I guess it's just Oldhim now because Starvo's not really a thing anymore.
But I think
Blitz. But.
I think like without Crown of Seeds, it makes Oldhim harder to play too, which is another natural predator of this deck. So it's obviously a meta call. It's obviously just a fun deck, but I had a lot.
I was gonna say, I think if you had fun playing the deck and you're not. As it sounds really weird. If you're not, don't pick up this deck if you're like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna like slam 4-0 every single armory I go at. If you're like, I just really want to play Prism and I think this is gonna be fun and I don't like
to play Overload.
I don't really care how I do. If you're just there to play, I think you will do well with this deck and you'll have a good time with it. As long as your expectation isn't that you're gonna.
It's like almost like playing KO, but there are a couple more moving pieces, but it's also a little bit more when you're actually attacking. You get to attack for like relatively consistent damage, whereas with KO you attack for like 2 sometimes. It's like not your fault. It's like not your intention to attack for 2, but you do.
There are some turns where you're just kind of on the back foot and you're like, okay, just attack for 2 because I have to. Whereas other turns you're just like, it's just a 7 and then 7 and you're like, oh, and 3.
But yeah, anyway, we'll save some of this discussion for the wrap up. But that concludes the Aggro Prism Gauntlet. Thank you, as always, for being on the show and for playing against me.
Absolutely.
Fun.
It's always fun. And you at home, if you want to get your hands on these sweet tokens we've been using throughout the series, and I mentioned it in episode 1 and now, you head over to our Patreon, Patreon/the Spike Feeders, and for I believe it's $20 is the tier that gets you a set of these, and they're really nice. Like they're like
heavy,
hefty.
They're really, really like the detail is really nice. Like when I first saw these, I was surprised that this is something that we had available. Like it's probably one of the highest quality, at least feeling things that we've made. But yeah. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out and watching and liking and commenting and subscribing, and just be sure to stay well and stay healthy. And we will see you in the wrap up. Which will be coming next week.
Yeah.
But until then...
Got some good stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. We got lots of stuff to talk about. But until then, have a great day.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Spike Feeders on YouTube. Before you close the window, make sure you click subscribe for more great Flesh and Blood content.